Well, I guess I'll start off by introducing myself. So my name is Alan. I'm an ambassador at DCU, and I'm actually doing the Bachelor of Arts joint honors course. My subject combination is non-Spanish, but I'll be covering all of the subjects today. So the format of today's presentation is why do the degree? What is joint honors? What's like the structure and the duration? What requirements we need from you, and what you can and you can't combine. That's very important. That's why we left it for the end, because sometimes students think they can do certain combinations, but it turns out they can't. So I guess I'll start off by certain skills that you gain throughout the joint honors degree. So as you can see up there, you have communication, you have presentation, research, critical thinking. Those are skills that you gain through doing many assignments. It's not like secondary school where it's just constantly theoretical and essay based. In college, you do a lot of interactive and oral assignments. But I guess you get this sort of you master this skill set through any degree in humanities and social sciences. So I guess I will go one step further and say what sets the joint honors degree apart is definitely the adaptability and the versatility of the degree. So I guess I'm preaching to the choir here because you guys are probably used to doing accounting one double, and then you go from doing TCANs to doing mitosis and biology the next hour. So joint honors kind of has that same atmosphere. So in my case, I'm doing law. One morning we're studying about how in criminal law how a woman got cheated on by her husband, and then she killed that husband, to doing grammar the next hour. Employers love that. It makes you more kind of adaptable to stepping outside your comfort zone, and you feel more confident doing that. So I feel like that's what sets the joint honors degree apart from the others. How it works, basically, it's known as a dual honor sometimes, or double major, so it's 50-50. So by the time you graduate, you are qualified in two areas, and you don't get that in all the degrees. So I think it's pretty cool, and it opens up your opportunities during the degree and after the degree, and what you can do with your career. So next we have the structure. So in the prospectus, you may have seen that it's 3 or 4 years long, and the reason for that is because in year 3, you can either wrap it up with your 3 years, and that's fair. I've had a fair amount of friends that did that, or you can do an additional year where you're doing a work placement, which is basically spend 12 months in your desired field working as if, getting a taste of what it's like to work in your career field, and it's paid. So that's pretty cool. Or you can opt for the year abroad, known as Erasmus, or the study abroad year. It's amazing. I highly recommend for it. That's the one I opted for. I did my year abroad in Valencia, and it's pretty cool. You get a taste of being independent in a whole other country. You get to do modules that aren't necessarily available in DCU, and you get to experience a whole culture. So I definitely would recommend to go for the additional year of doing the intra work placement or the international year abroad. So intra stands for the integrated training. In my year group, there was this stigma that you're just kind of getting coffee for your boss the entire time. That's not what it is. Like you're given so much responsibility. Like I had friends that were training their own trainees 6 months into their internship. So it's, if an employer sees potential in you, they will want to expand and discover that potential. And there's this statistic out there that 40% of people that do intra are offered a graduate contract at the end of their internship. So that's an added bonus, I guess, to have a job waiting for you at the end of your degree. These are some of the companies that DCU is partnered with. So you're probably familiar with the big names like Google and Microsoft and Pfizer. That's literally just a crumb. It's literally just a handful of the intra companies that we have. We have many more and spread across various industries. It's pretty cool. These are some of our international partners. So you can see a lot of orange in the EU there, But we also have non-EU partners. We have the USA, Canada, China, Japan, Australia. We also have Mexico, which isn't highlighted there, funny enough, Universidad de las Americas. We'll change that, but as you can see, you can really end up in any part of the world. So there's 5 different streams you can do. As you can see there, you have humanities, you have media studies, you have law, international languages, and you have politics. The good thing about putting one of these down on your CAO is you don't have to be like all that specific in what subject combination you want to do. So for example, if you want to put humanities down for now and you just want to leave it at that, you don't want to specify what exact subject combination you want to do, that's okay. You only really have to decide your exact subjects during the CAO rounds around August. So I guess that buys you time in a way. If you were anything like me, if you're sitting there in 5th and 6th year and you're anything like me and you were indecisive about what you want to do, that's, I guess, a nice bonus to have. These were the points for 2022. As you can see, it spreads from 367 with the lowest, with the politics stream, and with law being 399. The general rule of thumb is you should aim to get about 50 extra points from the requirement. The points shouldn't go up that much, but just in case it does. So for example, if you're going for the Bachelor in Joint Honors Law 399, you should aim for 449 for your leaving cert, just to be in the safe zone. These are the subject requirements. So like if you're thinking of doing media, you need a H4 in English. Same for German, you need H4 in German. If you don't see your subject there, that means the general entry requirements apply, which is usually 2 H5 in any subjects, and a H7 or an 06 in maths, and the same for English or Irish. You don't need both, you just need English or Irish. So I guess we'll start off with humanities. It's the broadest one. You have some cool subjects like human development that you wouldn't necessarily touch on in secondary school. Human development is all about like the crucial stages of like the growth of a human being. You have stuff like philosophy that deals stuff on like an ethical level, studies how like different philosophers had different approaches to different concepts throughout time. You also have humanities, I guess that'll be on the next slide. You have history and music, which basically takes what you were learning at a second level. I guess that applies to geography and religion too. It takes what you already know at a second level, and in third level you sort of go more into depth into that. Now, I'm not doing these subjects, but the general idea that I get from studying, from speaking to friends and fellow students that are doing these subjects, basically in secondary school you learn about the how in geography, like how our volcanoes formed and stuff like that, human geography and all that. But in college you go into the why a lot, like why is this important, why this can solve the problem of X. So that's the general gist. How you combine these subjects is, as you can see, you can choose English and Irish. You can leave it at that. Or you can go for English and human development, or philosophy and history, or music and geography. But where you see or, you can't have them both. So for example, you can't combine human development and philosophy together, unfortunately. And I have a brilliant diagram at the very end of this presentation that explains the different permitted subject combinations perfectly. And I'm going to advise you to screenshot the hell out of that if you can, or we will upload it somewhere on our socials. Next, you have the Joint Honors in Media Studies degree, DC 291. And Media Studies is a really cool one. I went to a tutorial of one of my friends. Media tutorials, and basically they spent the entire class, the lecturers spent the entire class developing conspiracy theories about Facebook. And it is really cool. You go really, really in depth how different stakeholders in media use media to kind of hold influence of each other and sort of manipulate into getting what they want. I mean, if you think about it, you getting here today, coming here today involves some sort of media, some sort of influencing, some sort of promotion. So media is really universal and will apply to any career that you're looking to get into. You can go into marketing, you can go into public relations. Don't think that just because you choose, so say you choose media and politics, for example, that's your subject combination, that your career will have to involve some sort of media or politics. You might not. Like, you might go into policy development in the EU, something as so far as that. And then you can combine media with English or one of their international languages, which is French, German, or Spanish. Bachelor of Arts in law. That's my degree. That's what I'm doing right now. So you can combine law with history or one of our international languages or media. Law is a pretty cool one. In law, basically, law it's not just about learning different laws and what's allowed, what's not allowed. A law degree teaches you how to think. How to critically analyze a situation, how to provide an academic opinion. I guess most of these degrees will teach you how to do that, but law more so out of any of them. It teaches you how to look at a situation objectively or subjectively, and you can go into a lot of different careers in law, as you can see on there. What we don't have on there is you can become a solicitor or a barrister, which are the two mainstreams after doing a law degree. So in the Bachelor of Joint Honours Law, you study the 8 core subjects that you will need to be covering during your you'll be covering the 8 subjects that you'll need to do before before starting your solicitor training. So that's like constitutional law, company law, criminal law, contract law. There's 8 of them. I'm sure you can find them online. I won't have time to go into all of it, unfortunately, today. And then you have the Joint Honours International Languages. So you can choose one of the international languages that I mentioned earlier, and Irish or politics. For this one, you're highly, highly advised to do the Erasmus, because there is no better learning tool for a language than speaking it with the locals and learning the local lingo and the slang. And there's no other way to build your confidence in a language. And with a language degree, you can go into many different career paths. So you can see there you have translation studies. So you can be translating for public or private entities. You can be doing intercultural studies. So you can be visiting different countries and writing articles on comparative cultural studies. It's or you can be working in international relations. I mean, really, languages are becoming more and more relevant within each year, because globalization is just becoming such a big thing nowadays. We're not as separate as we used to be. Lastly, but not least, you have the Joint Honours Politics degree. So politics is a really, really cool one, and obviously it applies to every human being. It's kind of media studies. It's kind of like media studies in that sort of sense, that we all face politics in some sort of way. So on a third level in politics, you cover stuff like the foreign exchange policy in China. You cover issues in the Middle East. So it's not just like Irish politics. Don't worry, like, we're not going to restrain you just to one country's politics. You cover the American political system. You cover lots of different issues around the world. Climate change, that's also a big one that you cover in the politics degree. And you can combine it with geography, history, law, or religion. This is the chart that I was talking about. So please take a screenshot of this, take a picture of this, just make a mental note of this, because I've had so many students, unfortunately, coming to me and saying, hey, I put this degree down thinking I can combine, for example, let's choose a very specific one, thinking I can combine politics and human development, but they can't because there's a blank there. And they're saying, what do I do now? I've already accepted the degree on the CAO. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do for them because of timetabling issues and such. We can't have a student do those two subjects together. So that's the presentation. Sorry about the chaos, but you can find out more information through through emailing us at arts@dcu.ie or visiting our website there. Or I've also included my UniBuddy link, just in case. Just look up Alan, Bachelor of Arts, your honors. If you have any questions, something that maybe I didn't cover, or just anything about student life that you would like to know about DCU, feel free to throw them into the live chat right now, and I'm happy to answer them. I'm gonna give 5 to 10 minutes for that. Okay, so we have our first one. What is your timetable like during the week? So normally we have 10 to 12 hours of classes, and then we have about 3 hours of tutorials. That's for law anyway. You won't have tutorials for every subject. I'm aware that media guys don't have, my friends in media don't have tutorials. Not too sure about politics, but I know like with tutorials about 15 hours a week. Do you have also independent hours of study, or you have full-time classes? I have to, especially in law. Well, Spanish as well. With language, there's a lot of independent work. You have to do independent work, and I can't give an exact. I can't give an exact figure of how much hours I spent on independent study, but you really need to keep up with law. It's the readings. You have to read every week to stay on top. And with languages, it's mostly the grammar and any new vocab that you're learning. There's not that much homework and assignments to hand in throughout the semester. Like for law, it's mostly at the end of the year, it gets high pressure. And then with Spanish, it's kind of throughout the semester, you are submitting stuff, but it's very chill. It's very laid back. Do you first years have tutorials, and how many in a tour group? First years do have tutorials, yes. How many? They tend to keep them small because the lectures, they tend to be like 150 to 200 people. So some people may feel a little, it may feel daunting to ask questions in a class of that capacity. So for tutorials, we keep them like 10 to 15 people, but a lot of people, sometimes you have people not showing and stuff like that. Especially, I remember during COVID, ours was through Zoom. We had virtually no people showing, so it was like 5 people. So it's a very lax environment, and you can ask all the questions in the world. You will have time for it, and it's really like it's a really good platform to just get all your kind of questions that you think are silly, just to get them out the way. And just to, flood your tutor with those questions. Do you have exams every semester? Yes, you have exams every semester. Never in languages and never in media. And my friends in politics don't have exams either. So law is the main subject. I can't speak for all 14 arts, but out of the ones that I do know, law, you have exams. You'll have about 3 exams at the end of the semester, which is not bad at all. And they've moved the exams now to before Christmas, and even earlier. And then for the summer, they're even earlier now. So that's nice that you don't have to spend your Christmas studying and preparing for exams. So, doing law and Spanish, my subject combination specifically, it's very nice. It's very balanced. You have your continuous assessment for Spanish. So you're really busy with Spanish throughout the semester, and then with law, you're more busy at the end semester, but you're not as busy with Spanish at the very end semester. So it's very well balanced. For the music module in the humanities course, it said there was some sort of assessment. I see one audition. When does that happen? Do you know? And how do I get notified about it? Yes, there is a requirement. I remember seeing this. I think I even included it in the PowerPoint. Just one second. Um, yeah, pre-registration assessment. That's all. That's all we were given. So I wouldn't be too sure. You will have to email arts@dcu.ie about that because I don't do music. I'm not sure what the assessment consists of. I am pretty sure it happens around February, around that time. That's when you do your assessment. That's as far as the timing goes. But I don't know. I think you will have to get in touch with them to get notified about it. Sorry if I can provide more information on that, Hannah. Yeah, I'll stay here for another 5 minutes just in case you guys have questions. Oh, there's another one from Sharon. Any tips on getting into halls of residence at DCU? It's a lottery system, so there's literally like no advice I can give you on how to get accommodation in DCU. You will just have to go through the normal application process and cross your fingers that you're going to get in. If you're an incoming first year, you have a really high chance of getting accommodation in Larkfield. The Larkfield accommodation, which is like the two roommates sharing a kitchen and a bathroom. Do you have any tips for applying to journalism, or do you know anyone who's studying it? Yes, actually, one of my best mates, she's studying journalism. I forget what the course code for that is or the requirements because that is in the same faculty, but it's not under the honors degree. Journalism is very hands on. So if in secondary school, if you like writing, if you like news and you like articles and you like all the hot topics, then journalism is definitely for you. Then there's no like preparation you need to do before going for the journalism degree. Really, like in any degree in DCU, apart from the music, like it's definitely recommended that you know how to sing or play an instrument. But for most degrees in DCU, and journalism included, you don't need any specific preparation. Like they will equip you with the skills that you need to be a fully fledged journalism at the end by the end of your degree. And I know my friend was telling me she is in classes with master's students um, in her bachelor's of journalism. So you might not even have to do a master's in journalism to become like a fully qualified journalist. I think after you do your bachelor's, you go on, you get your experience, and then you're ready to go. And like in most degrees, in most, I guess I'm speaking for our faculty of humanities and social sciences. In most degrees, you will get a chance at a work experience or an internship, something to put your all the theory that you've been learning to the test. I really hope that you do choose DCU, and I hope you find the course that's right for you because honestly, this is my fourth year in DCU, and I can't say enough good things about it. I've had a blast going to DCU for these past 4 years. It's great. Campus life is great. The social life, just the feeling of being a DCU student. You're so proud to be a DCU student. Like I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't proud of my course of my college. So thank you so much, guys, for coming.